Gosh, this looks so much better already. So I made a video about stuff I've learned so far from participating in 4 different game jams, including one submission being featured as a Mark favorite in the Game Maker's Toolkit 2025 Game Jam, whatever that means. I wasn't really sure what the heck I wanted to do with this game after the jam, but fast forward around a month or 2 and I'm still working on it. So I guess I'm working on it. The next Steam Next Fest is in February. Try to say that a few times fast, oh my god, which is where a lot of indie games showcase new demos and stuff. I've heard that a good plan is to put out a demo a few months before Next Fest so that you can take in some good feedback, then make a really sick, better demo to feature during the actual Next Fest. So right now, my extremely loose plan is to have a demo up on Steam around December or so that I can have a better demo ready for February. We'll see how that goes, I don't know. So I've been cleaning up my jam submission a lot. First, I overhauled a lot of graphics and stuff that I made in a rush, and more recently I've cleaned up a lot of UI stuff that was also made in a rush. I realized that this game really didn't need text, and I love the idea of a textless game so that people of any language can play. I was referring to common terms like worlds and level and menu and stuff like that, and I had some tutorial text in the first couple of levels. All of these common terms need to be replaced with recognizable icons or just presented in a way that is hopefully universally understandable. Along the way, I also realized that the game didn't really need to require a mouse at all. Menus could really be navigated with just a keyboard. But this brings us to what I've been working on for I don't know, weeks, and I think I'm done for now, and I don't really want to think about this anymore for a long time, but UI in general is absolutely bonkers. Like take a button. See, when you make a button in a game, it's crazy. You would think that when you make a button, you just slap it down and you tell the game what to do when the button is pressed. Okay, buddy, that's about 5% of the work, because you're not just telling the game what to do when the button is pressed, you also have to think about what the button looks like. You have to think about what the button looks like when the mouse is hovering over it, or while the button is being pressed, like your mouse button is down but not up yet, and what the button looks like when it's disabled. And what about when you hover over it while it's pressed? And my dumbass wants to support keyboard and or mouse navigation, so you have to think about focus. What does the button look like when it's focused? As in, you've navigated to it with the keyboard, but you haven't actually selected it yet. And what happens if you somehow lose focus, like clicking the mouse on a blank space or something? Does that deselect the current focus, meaning your up, down, left, right buttons do nothing? How do you get focus back? What do you focus? What happens if you hit 2 hotkeys at the same time, or if you press a button really fast? Does your game handle that correctly, or is it gonna spawn 2 levels on top of each other? And what about cute little menu animations like this? Does everything in your game properly wait for those animations to finish before proceeding? There are so many decisions and corner cases to look out for. It's a lot. Godot has great built-in options for styling elements of your game's theme, which is a term used to describe basically every UI element. For example, the buttons on the main menu here all use style box flats for their normal, pressed, hovered, focused, and disabled states, and a style box flat is really just a fill color, a border color, and options to set things like the thickness of the border and the content margins. So for example, the button's pressed state is the same exact appearance as the normal state, except it just thickens the border a bit so that it's visually clear that the button is being pressed. This probably looks like a lot of different values to tweak, but what's good is that you really only need to set these once, and then every button that you add to your game will default to these values. And that's nice because it automatically keeps the style consistent no matter where you are in your game. But if I could impart a little chicken nugget of knowledge in this video, I think something that really saved me as far as these UI decisions go is keeping a small color palette. This main menu has like 5 colors, I think. It made a lot of the color decisions much easier when you only have a few to choose from. Sometimes it felt a little limiting, but it also really helps keep a coherent style because elements really fit with each other when there aren't slight variations of different shades or random one-off colors just used for convenience. It just looks more polished and intentional. And in order to create the color palettes of each world, for example, this is what World 2 looks like, all I did was take the first color palette and hue shift it until I found a nice new set of colors. This keeps the relationship between each shade similar, and it still looks like a new color palette that's not wildly different from the previous one. So that's where I'm at now with this funky little music platformer. I also added in a bit of extra completion tracking where you get a check mark if you beat the level, but you get a little golden star if you beat the level fast. In my own attempts of trying to play fast, I've found that you kind of have to platform and use the number keys to create new platforms at the same time, which is really funny, so I'm kind of leaning into it a little. Next on my list is to create some new levels using some new mechanics I've been thinking about. I can't show them here because I literally haven't done it yet, but in my head it looks really cool. If you're interested in playing, you can check out the game on itch at the link below, and while you're down there, make sure to like and subscribe or something because I think that helps a lot. Also, maybe give the game a follow on itch if it's your thing because I think that helps too. Thank you and have a very nice and cool day.